Today, I'm going to be showcasing how you can generate full stack applications with the new free tool called LlamaCoder. Now, guess what? This is completely open source, meaning it's something that you can completely access for free, and you can personally extend the framework further based off your own preference. You can simply state what you want to create with LlamaCoder, and it will basically generate the components for you. Just take a look at this example where I requested to build a calculator app. And within a couple of seconds, it'll utilize the Llama 3.1 405 billion parameter model, and it will start generating the code, and it's going to start building my application. And look at that. With an open source model, it had just created my calculator app within a couple of seconds. You can open the Sandbox into another link, and you can actually extend this even further, and you can edit the components while actually seeing a visual representation of what is happening. This is something that was developed by Hassan, and this is something that I truly respect for him to actually create. So I definitely recommend that you give him a follow for creating such an amazing framework. But with that thought, guys, this is something that we're going to be exploring. So let's get straight into the video. Now, before we get started, I definitely recommend that you take a look at the Patreon page so that you can access the new subscriptions that we'll be releasing this week. If you would like to book a consulting call with me, you can do so with the link in the description below. I'd like to introduce World of AI Solutions. This is a really big update that has been launched for my channel, and this is where I have compiled a team of software engineers. We have machine learning experts, AI consultants, and this is basically a team where we're going to be providing AI solutions for businesses as well as personal use cases where AI solutions can be implemented to automate certain things or to help business operations. Now, if you're interested, take a look at the Typeform link in the description below. So what is LlamaCoder? Well, it's an open source tool that's going to enable you to generate small applications with a single prompt. You can also iterate it further by having it worked along in the Sandbox to basically develop this application even further. It's something that leverages the powerful Llama 3.1 405 billion model from Meta AI. And this is for the language model itself, and it uses Together AI for the LLM inference. Now, the tech stack includes different components, which you can see over here. There's the Sandpack for the code sandboxing. There's Next.js, as well as Tailwind for the app routing, as well as the styling. You have Helicone for observability, and you also have Possible for the website analytics. The combination of all these things is going to enable for the quick and efficient creation of these different small applications, and it's going to make the development process more accessible and more streamlined. There's two ways to access this, obviously through the website itself, but you can also get started with this locally. Let's take a look at some examples. In this case, it was able to generate a small application with just a single prompt. This is where it generated a quiz app tool. Within a couple of seconds, it starts formulating all the components for the front end, and you can see it created this meme quiz application, which will basically have it so that there's 4 options, and every time you select an option, it will tell you if the answer is correct or not. Something cool to note is that it also supports beautiful charts and graphs, meaning that you'll get better visual representations of what your AI is generating. You can have it so that it can be used as a data analytical application, and you can see that it can do various things from modeling certain components and data, as well as having it so that it can analyze large amounts of PDFs with this tool itself. At this current moment, you can actually choose to build with 3 different models. You have the Llama 3.1 405 billion parameter model, which I definitely recommend that you utilize, but you also have the ability to utilize the 3.1 70 billion parameter model, as well as the Gamma 2's 27B parameter model. So let's actually build another application. This is where we're going to ask it, build us a calendar application that will allow people to add date and event to it. So within a couple of seconds, we're going to basically have this generated. And what you can do is you can basically make changes to your application as you're working with it, meaning that there's a human in the loop feature, which is going to enable you to edit certain components, such as having it change the color of something like the blue button over here. Let's take a look at another example. In this application that I'm building, I'm basically building a funnel for an e-commerce store, and I said that there should be a product catalog, and there we go. We have this catalog where you can buy the product itself, and this is just like a small little funnel that I was able to create. And you can see it once I click on the button, it's able to confirm the purchase and you're going to be able to then proceed to the checkout. I have now requested it to create a snake game, and it should be able to create this application within a couple seconds. And there we go. We have our snake game fully operational. You can restart. And in my opinion, this is probably one of the best snake games I've seen created by AI. It is something that has a scoreboard. It is way better than anything that has been generated by something like GPT-4 Omni, because every time I generate a snake game, it either has press restart with Q or it's something like that. In this case, there's actually a restart button and you have the controls that have been listed out at the bottom. Now you can go into the sandbox, and what you can do is you can actually open this up within a site, meaning that you can go to the console and then you can open this up within this site over here, where you can just simply copy this and paste this into your web page, and you're going to be able to access your application that you generated with LlamaCoder. And isn't that amazing, guys? This makes it so much more convenient to code out and utilize this platform or this console to help you build each component further in detail. It will showcase and highlight each aspects of your build within this console. And this is something that was generated completely for free, and it's hosted on the web, so you can get started with it right away. Now, what we're going to be doing is showcasing how you can actually install this locally. It's super easy, but you need to make sure that you have a couple of prerequisites fulfilled beforehand. You need to make sure that you have Python installed as your programming language. You need to make sure that you have npm installed. I'll leave a link to this in the description below. It's very easy to install this. Make sure you have Git installed. This is an application that we're going to be utilizing to help us clone the repository. And lastly, make sure you guys have VS Code installed, as this is going to be the ID that we use to configure the .env file. And you also need to have an API key from Together AI. This is something that you can access completely for free, and you can actually utilize a free trial with them. So this is something that is completely for free. So once you have these things ready, what you can do is go back to the GitHub repository, which I'll leave a link to in the link, which I'll leave a link for this in the description below, as well as all the other links that I use in today's video there as well. Now, what I want you guys to do is go over to the GitHub repository, click on this green button over here, and click on the copy button. Once you've done that, if you're on Windows, open up your command prompt, and you want to simply just paste in git clone, and then you want to paste in the link for this repository. This is going to start cloning the repository, and once it finishes doing that, what you're going to need to do is you need to go into the .env file, and to do so, you want to open up VS Code. Once you have opened this up, you want to click on a new window. Once that's done, you want to open up the folder that you just cloned. So you want to find it as to wherever you cloned it. And once you have found it, you want to open it up. You want to then trust the authors at your own discretion. And what you will need to do is set your .env file. This is where you're going to need to paste in your Together API. And once you have done that, you can then simply remove the .example, and you can then go into file and then just simply click save. Once that is done, you want to then head over to the LlamaCoder folder, and that's by simply typing in cd LlamaCoder. Once you're in this directory, you want to then paste in this next command, which is npm install. And you want to click enter. This is going to start installing the packages within the LlamaCoder files. And once it has finished doing that, you can then easily start up this application by pasting in the npm run dev command. And this is where you're going to be able to run it locally fairly easily. And once that's done, you can allow access, and you're going to be able to access it on your local host over here. So let's go test it out to see if it's functional. And within a couple seconds, we should have it loaded up once it finishes starting it up. And there you go. You have LlamaCoder finally operational locally, and you're going to be able to access all of these models locally. And this is with the inference from Together AI. And that's about it for today's video, guys. This is how you can build full stack applications with LlamaCoder. This is something that is fully free and open source, so definitely recommend that you hop on this. Definitely give Hassan a follow for his work on creating this. But with that thought, guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. Make sure you take a look at the Patreon page if you want to access different subscriptions to AI tools completely for free on a monthly basis. Make sure you follow me on Twitter, a great way for you to stay up to date with the latest AI news. And lastly, make sure you guys subscribe, turn on the notification bell, like this video, and check out our previous videos so you can stay up to date with the latest AI news. But with that thought, guys, have an amazing day, spread positivity, and I'll see you guys fairly shortly. Peace out, fellas.